Hello everyone, welcome to this section. In today's video, we are going to talk about for loops. So a for loop is used to iterate over a sequence or a range of numbers. So the for loop iterates through each element in a sequence, performing an action for each element. The range function in Python is often used to loop over a sequence of numbers. Later on in higher level classes and courses in Python, when we are going to learn about list, tuple, dictionary, and set, then we can also integrate for loops with them as well. So a for loop can iterate over a list, a tuple, a dictionary, or a set. But this is something that we're going to discuss in higher level courses. For now, we are going to learn how to use the range function in Python to iterate over a range of numbers. Let me illustrate it with an example. So now we would like to write a program that prints numbers from 1 to 5 using a for loop. This is the statement of our program. So in order to use the for loop, we have the keyword reserved in Python for. Then we are having the I. It could be anything that we want. We choose our iteration variable to be I. And then we are going to use the in keyword reserved for this. Range is the function of the Python that we are going to use, and the range is divided by a comma. So there are two ranges in parentheses that we are going to have when using the range function, the starting point and the ending point. So let me run this code. When we run this code, this I is going to iterate over this range for us. One thing to mention is that the starting point in Python for range function is inclusive, but the ending point is exclusive. It means that it is going to iterate over for all I in the range between 1 to 6, but it is going to iterate over 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and not 6, because the end is exclusive. So it is the start point that is inclusive, okay? And then we are going to print I. So in the output, we are having number 1 to 5 being printed out. But how does it work? So let me put some comment here. So for the first time, we say that we are using this range function. And when we are having the range function, we need to choose the start point and the end point, okay? Start point, end point. And when we are going to have the range function, for example, here we would like to go over numbers from 1 to 5. So the starting point is 1, and it is going to include 1 because it's a rule in Python. So the starting point is inclusive. So it is going to start from 1 and it is going to iterate until it's 5. But because if I write down 5 here, because the end point is exclusive, it is going to iterate over 1, 2, 3, and 4, and not 5, because the end point is exclusive. Okay, so I'm going to put 6 here, therefore it is going to go until 5. So this is how the range function works. And if I want to explain further, we see that for the first time I get the value 1. Okay, when I equals 1, it is basically having this print function being implemented, because we are having print, and in the parentheses we are having I, and I equals 1, so we are going to print 1 in the output, and we see it here. Okay, and then it goes up back again, and I now equals 2. I now equals 2, and it is going to print 2 for us, and we are having it here, and it goes up again. I is incrementing, and we are having the I equals 3, print 3, I equals 4, print 4, and finally I equals 5, print 5. So this is basically what happens in each iteration in this for loop that we are having this output here. So in this lesson, we learned how to write a for loop. We are having a for keyword and one variable to be defined here, then using the in keyword and providing the range, a starting point and an ending point. Starting point is inclusive and the ending point is exclusive. So if I type down until 6, it is not going to go for the 6 one, it is going to go until 5, okay, until the end of 5, including 5. And for this loop, I am printing I. So I, when it starts, because it starts from 1, I equals 1, it is printing 1. Then I is 2, I is 3, printing 3, I is 4, printing 4, I is 5, printing 5, and that's it. It is finished. The for loop is finished, and these are the output of our program. And one thing to mention here is that this is the range function that we are using to iterate over a range of numbers, and it has two parts in the parentheses, starting point and ending point. They are separated by a comma. In the next videos, we are going to discuss further practical coding exercises so you would get used to the syntax of loops, of different types of loops, including for loops.